Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. Here's your host, Dave Snowberger.
All right, welcome back to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. I'm your host, Dave Snowberger. I know you caught that in the intro. I just always like to do it to throw off our producer a little bit, which is the man behind the glass, James, the new guy Mendez.
New guy.
Then we got Alicia Hooper. Once again, it's Taco Tuesday, so it's her favorite day of the week. So she is smiling ear to ear. And then we've got Marshall Tucker on the mic today.
I can't wait till we have this live
like a
camera
head bob going,
to highlight the show so we can see everything that we're seeing. Oh.
Jeez. All right. Put the ball up. Let's go. Let's get into this. What are we talking about today? One thing we went up today against, no, we go up all the time against, is discounts.
Yes.
Discount brokers. Jeez Louise, we're calling a lot of folks right now. It's getting to be springtime. It's getting to be listing time. It's time to start listing homes. So we're reaching out to a lot of people that we might have talked to last year. Follow-up game, reaching out to a lot of these folks. A lot of them said, hey, look, I'm going to go a different direction. I found a way to save commission. There's this whole, company. Have you ever heard of Open Door? Oh, no, never. Have you ever heard of, some of the discount brokers that are here in town? Or flat out going with, yeah, we talked to so-and-so. He's a Keller Williams agent. He's an EXP agent. He's a this agent. He's a that agent, Century 21. They're going to do it for X amount %. So I'm finding that in a lot of phone calls that we're having. For sure. And what are you guys seeing right now? Because I know that most of you are making the same calls because it's that time of year.
Right. It's definitely become more prevalent from when I first started to where it is now.
What, discounting? Discounting is becoming more prevalent?
Yes, requesting the discount.
I've heard that the entire time I've been in real estate.
You've had that the whole time? Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of those
for your 30 days. It's good.
Website companies that let you do the little sliding scale of how much commission you're going to give back to the buyer, and I think the buyers are starting to get used to all that they can reach and ask for commissions all the time. So
right, for sure.
Becoming more common.
Well, I think a lot of it's being coached on. I mean, I'm sure there's sites on some of these search engines. We'll call them ZTR, Zillow, Trulia, Realtor, Redfin.com. There's definitely articles on there for the people that are reading about how to get commission back. There's plenty of stuff on the internet when people do research, that I'm buying a home. The secret's out. People will start telling word of mouth's the best sort of advertising, right? So people are moving to town. They're realizing that, hey, I bought a house and I found out it had a 4 or 5% commission on it. So we asked for our agent to give us 2%. He still made his 3% that he would have made anyway, but we got 2%, and then they're hearing that. And then you have people like, well, if you got 2%, I can probably get 4%.
Right. But it has to be apples to apples, right?
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So if I have a 5% and if my buyer truly needs it, I mean, it's my fiduciary duty to serve my client well. So I will give that up because that's not, to me, a discount. There's just a bonus to that transaction. Right. So that's fantastic. So if they need it, awesome. But I set up the expectation at my buyer consults that if we decide to go new build, a lot of builders have realtor incentives, so they know up front that I could potentially get more money, and I have not had anybody ask me for it.
Yeah, the other night I did one. I don't work with buyers much. However, I had a friend. I'm selling his house. We finally got it under contract, cash, quick close. He's like, man, I'm going to have to rent. I was like, oh, man, I don't want you to rent. So we started talking. I was like, let me expand your search. We're just looking in one focused area, and that's all he cares about is that one focused area. He's like, let me just expand your search. Just open the emails that I send you. Just look at them. Yeah. Next day, hey, look, I want to see this house on, say, 123 Main Street. We boogie over there. Crappy weather. I grab the little Mini Cooper, and I rush over there. And pop the door, and then I look at it, and it's just like I look down, and it's like it just catches my eye right there. So beautiful. $555,000, 6% commission. I'm like, you got to be crapping me, right? And so the first thing goes through my mind is like, well, they won't like it because it's not in that focused district they're at. So they turn around and start asking me serious questions. Like, Dave, what do you think? We don't really want to rent. However, the area that we're trying to get into, they're just pricing us out. Yeah. Homes that were at $650 now are at $725, and they're not getting any cheaper. So I think we just got priced out because their threshold was at $650. And over here, it's like you get the same lot size, you get everything else. It's a 1-story big lot, all these great attributes to the property. and can you give up for this? And so we just started talking about it, and that's what rolled through my head right there. Is like, all right, don't worry about the commission.
Right.
This is your friend. You know, this is somebody you know, and they trusted you to sell their home. Like, steer them in the right direction and start looking at it, and just like, okay, this is Round Rock, Texas. Round Rock, Texas has been on the up and up for years.
Right.
And we just weighed through all the pros and cons, and at the end of it, I felt that, you know, I was genuine, and it was just kind of like, cool. I just killed. You know, which I always talk about, agents that talk themselves out of a paycheck. Like, I just did that. However, I'm okay with it because, you know, there is such a big price point. I'm going to get paid someday if they decide to buy.
Right.
They'll always buy from me because I've been straight with them. And then he goes, put in the offer. And I was like, what?
Say what?
Yeah.
Educated him to make the best
right.
decision.
And that's when I told him he didn't know it this time. And I go, and I just want to tell you and be upfront that everything I said, there's a 6% commission on this thing.
Because they're going to see it on the CD, so make sure you're upfront.
Right. And so I was like, you know, and so you do the math, 555 at 6%, that's a big
pretty sweet
commission. I was like, but I'll tell you what, I'll fight my hardest for you to get this house, you know, as cheap as possible. And on top of that, I know it's new construction, so they'll pitch it as in, you know, there's no closing costs or whatever else because it's new construction, so there's no taxes or anything, right? So it's unimproved land essentially, so there won't be all these things. I know that. I'll try to get them to throw in more closing costs. And I did. I negotiated it down $25,000.
Nice.
I got almost $10,000 plus in closing costs. And we actually used their lender, which is never really my thing, but $7,200 credit from there.
Dang.
They're not even going to be able to use all those closing costs.
You're going to get a check at closing.
No, what I tried to do really, well, they won't do that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
What I tried to do there was well, we can't take all that. How about a refrigerator? You know?
Yeah, there
you
you
have a
go.
refrigerator and washer and dryer? And they're like, no, we'd have to order them. And I'm like, okay, well, we need this one cabinet over the bathroom. They want another cabinet. So I was able to negotiate that in. Boom, done deal. Right? B's happy. They my friend's happy. They're cool. They're closing on the 28th. It just like boom, 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 that fast. Where I thought I was about to lease something, turned around to a $30,000 plus commission.
Boom.
And I was honest about it.
That's right.
You know, and I was upfront about it. So.
And I honestly believe that came to you because of something you did in the past. So when we have those opportunities where it's just, we have to be a discount broker, even though we shouldn't be. It comes back to you in the end. I believe that.
For sure.
In a different way.
For sure.
Right.
Like, we go against discount brokers all the time.
Yes.
I list a lot of homes, and so I have to go in, and certainly I get asked more than one time. I used to handle it. I learned this from a guy I know named Steve Fole. He'll be on the show one day, but he was kind of my mentor in real estate because he had been in it so long. He started when he was 18 years old. That's the only thing he knows, and he just turned 50, you know, and he knows a lot about real estate. But I was like, hey, how do you handle this objection when someone comes at you and says, hey, can so-and-so, can you do it for cheaper? Can you do it for 1%? His go-to was always no. Do you have any other questions?
Yeah.
And so I just adapted. I just thought that was right.
Yeah.
I didn't even think it through.
No, it's a
so I
complete
just started
sentence.
saying that.
Yeah, for sure.
I just started saying that to everybody. And I remember being in, once again, I list a lot of my sphere of influence as homes, but we sat there and I guess she never wanted to ask me for a discount because she knew what we were bringing to the table. But the mom entered in and went for it right off the bat. Was like, I can't believe you guys went to high school together and you're going to charge her a full commission. And I was like, well, I just kind of like flabbergasted sitting there. And I just kind of brushed her off. I'm just kind of like, well, this is kind of between my friend and I. And are you signing on this or whatever else? And the thing is the only way I can offer her a discounted commission is that if she's buying from me also. And she's made it very clear that she doesn't want to own another house right now. And so I need that. And for marketing reasons and everything that we throw at, my job is to get as many eyeballs on the property as possible. That costs me money. I don't just put it in MLS and then pray that it sells.
Correct. Listings are expensive.
Right.
Yeah. And that's
so
money out of our pocket.
once I presented that and told her my value, because she could care less about my pre-listing packet that I had that shows everything we do for her.
Yeah.
She just wanted a discount. And essentially I just went with that. And then she asked me one more time and I said no. And I looked at my friend. I was like, any other questions? And she said, no, I'll sign your paperwork. And I was like, cool.
Nice.
You know? And so the whole time through the whole process, every time I saw her mom, she would just glare at me. You know? It was glare
That
at
was
me.
my vacation money.
The thing was I put her house under contract for probably $10,000 more than she was expecting because we priced it right and got the multiple offer thing going on. And then she started dating a buddy from another one of my buddies from high school that all of a sudden he wanted to sell his house and they wanted to buy a house together. So boom, boom, more transactions. Then I was able to provide some sort of a discount to them. You know, it wasn't really a discount. It was, I'm not going to just keep taking, but I'll contribute.
Right.
I didn't hand them stacks of $100 bills.
Right.
Or ones or fives or tens.
Like
I
you
just
paid for
I
their home
contributed
warranty or
I
whatever.
contributed in different ways to make it a little bit more valuable for them and show
Sure.
their value. And the guy in this equation owns a construction company. He actually owns does like windows and awnings and things like that. He sends me people all the time. These people are replacing windows because they're going to sell. Here's a number, call them.
Nice.
And so he gives me referrals. He's a constant referral source.
That is awesome.
And then the other day, once again, boom, he sends me. He's like, hey, I want to buy 20 acres out in this part of Texas, and so I'm calling you first. Can you find it? And I'm like, I can try.
Yeah.
So I got a referral out of it right there.
So that's an interesting question. You said that you're happy to give back if they are buying after you list and sell their home.
Mm-hmm.
Do you offer that up in the beginning, or do you allow them to ask?
I typically try not to. I more rely on the ask.
Yeah.
And more times than then, it seems to be the rule, not the exception. They do ask.
Yeah.
If I buy from you, are you going to give me a break? And so how we typically handle that is, I can do that for you. I'll give you the same thing that I give all my other friends and family, and I've done this for my own family. And this person,
Mm-hmm.
you can send them a text and ask. I've done the same thing for them because they all bought from me also. I will rebate you 1% of whatever the lesser transaction is. However, on the front one, I have to charge you this because if anything happens and you don't move forward, then I would be out.
Correct.
You understand?
Yep.
And they'll always say yes.
Yeah.
And so we've had it twice to where we actually just closed one right now. That was the same thing. Was he ended up, I'm just going to lease right now, and then I'll get back to you guys. Like, well, we were giving you a discount, but then I remember I don't even have to say anything because I know that we charged a full price up front, and the discount was coming on the buy side.
Yeah.
And so I'm comfortable with that. And so if he comes back to us, which I'm pretty confident he will, we always do what we say we're gonna do. We closed this morning, like I said. He was just kind of like, hey, everything that you told me happened.
Yeah.
Like you told me you can get it sold with under 60 days when all the other houses were on the market for 120. You told me where to be on price. You told me as soon as we priced right here, we would get all this traffic. We did. So it was just like boom, 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 boom. And then yesterday even they tried to go for a cash grab at the end, like house isn't to our standard cleaning, give us $1,200. And I was like, oh, nope, there's this little thing called an amendment. There's nothing in here about a professional cleaning. It's to the home to be acceptable. I've been through the house. It's really nice.
Yeah.
It looks good. You're talking about a grease stain on the driveway.
Yeah.
Like there's not much we can do about that at this point. You're not going to delay closing. And if you try, obviously, we're going to have a problem with that. So we weren't happy. But he saw that even till the end, we were his fiduciary and really protecting him the whole way.
Nice.
So he knows. And when he went over the statement this morning, I believe Marshall went to that closing. You went through the statement and he got down to the commission and that big fat commission on there. He just kind of stopped, looked over at Marshall, and then just kept going right down to his big old net.
He went all the way down to the net and then
he netted like $200,000. So the commission wasn't that big anymore.
Right, yeah,
Big of
seriously.
a deal anymore to him. So.
Now, if our commissions are more than what he's netting, then they're
yeah,
donkey eye.
absolutely.
I've had those too. We closed one of those where our
had to bring
commission check
money
was
to the
bigger
table.
than- yeah.
You're like,
And
I
just
did
kind of
my
like
job.
I bailed you out in time.
That's right.
And,
Yeah.
and there's some guilt that goes with that. Obviously, you see it, and it's just like I just made X amount of dollars, and you're walking away or bringing money to the table. Like who's
Oh, I was going to say, as long as they're not bringing a check, but you're talking about like if they have to bring money.
Yeah, I've only had that happen once, but it was a weird deal.
Usually it's job transfers and stuff.
But it wouldn't have mattered, if it was me or somebody else.
Sure.
It just they were in the bad situation. So
Right.
what we did was we stopped the bleeding, and that's what I was paid to do: was stop the bleeding and bring somebody in, so at least they could get out now and not lose their house and destroy their credit and all the other good stuff down the road.
Yeah.
So
Well, one thing that you said that you always discount 1%. Another thing is if you are going to discount your commission, you don't always have to think in percentage. So you can say, okay, I'm happy to pay for your home warranty if they're on the buy side, or I'm happy to $1,500, just depending on the price point. Like it doesn't have to be percentage, just FYI.
no, that's smart. Typically, I'm just always the 1%.
Yeah.
Not to jack with anything, but we've gotten more into providing more value, and so
Yeah.
that's what we're trying to do now. Is if I go there and I walk through your house, I might even charge you 7% now.
Yeah.
I've been looking at upping my commission if I go in and you need countertops or anything like that, but you don't have any money. That's certainly another way, another avenue of business to get more people listing with you. Is like, look, I'll pay for these things up front, and on top of that, I'm more than likely going to put a lien on your house because
Right.
I don't want you to back out of the deal after I fix up your house for you. And then on top of this is I'm lending you my money, so I need 7% commission. If it's in there, it's gonna do it.
For sure.
It's gonna get it, and that enables a lot of people that if I just did granite and maybe painted the place and then put in new carpet, call our boy Chuck Bearden over at Carpets Now. If we call him, and
Hey,
have
Chuck.
yeah, nice little plug for old Chuck over there.
Yeah.
But we call him and we get all this stuff done, and it was an investment on my end about $6,000 or $7,000. I mean, obviously, why would I not build that into the commission and really get that money back?
Right.
So
For sure.
That's another way that I kind of beat the discount broker thing.
Gotcha.
Because if they don't have I can't do this, so you need to discount your commission. Well, I'm not going to discount anything.
Right.
Because my time and my services are very valuable, and you'll see why I earn the check. I've never had one person come back and say, you were overpaid.
Yeah.
I need some money back. I need a rebate.
Right. And
so.
Thankfully, I've only been asked once. Thankfully, so far.
Like after you cashed the check, they came back to you. It was like, hey, can we have some money back?
No. Like to discount, and it was only because, he was in a new community still where they were still building, and they were buying with me, and like I said, it comes back to you on the buy side. It turned out that the home that they picked had a bonus on it, so it came back to me.
I think I've only discounted a few times, and that was the lease buyout program. So
Nice.
talking to someone that was in a rental and was able to get them out into a new construction.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's important to know, and so we know that our audience, the one who we're really trying to speak to right now, are the newer agents at 80%.
Yep.
That I always bring up that might have a hard time in this business, and so you do get these opportunities to go out and either you're on the buy side or the sell side, either you're on the buy side or the sell side. And people ask you for those. Hopefully, they're listening to this and they can see that they can say no.
Right.
You have to come from a place of abundance, right? So we speak about abundance and scarcity all the time. And if you have that scarcity mindset and you're afraid to walk away, if you're afraid to say no, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I can't discount. I'm a new agent. This commission would really mean a lot to me. I'm going to give you everything I've got as a new agent and pour into everything into this. You'll get all my hard work, and all you have to do is, just agree to the contract how it is right now, and I promise I'll give you all this work.
Right. And if you really truly break down the 6%, they understand it more because they think that you're collecting that 6%. So if you say, okay, immediately 50% of this goes to the buyer's agent because they brought the buyer to get the deal
40%.
going, right? And then from
Qualified
that,
buyer.
and then
Qualified buyer who will more than likely close.
Yeah. And then you have your 3 left, right? And you've seen this scenario where you have the $3
The
and you're
$3
like,
bills, yeah.
okay, this dollar goes to my broker, this dollar goes to the tax man, and then I only get half of this because I have to
And
take
this
care
is how
of
I
expen-
pay my car payment, my
Right,
house,
yeah, all that.
my kids to eat, my dogs to,
It's marketing,
marketing,
my bills,
yeah, everything.
and the broker.
Right. Well, you put it so just analytically perfect.
Bam.
Bam.
Yep.
So
It's all about expectations. So
it's setting the expectations and really I like to think that as we pick up steam as a top listing team in the Austin, Texas area, is that I get to go on more and more opportunities to where I can list and I can sharpen my tools, sharpen my pencil, and
Still.
there it is again. Nope. Sharpen my sword.
next, nope.
Skills. Sharpen my skills.
There you go.
So sharpen my skills and really have these rebuttals down pat. So most of these conversations that we're having and the rebuttals that we have them on our website or our Facebook page, which is Top Shelf Agents. The Top Shelf Agents, we have most of these scripts on here to handle these objections that we get, and we have the right rebuttals for them to tell the buyers and sellers exactly why we can't discount the commission and why we shouldn't.
Right.
And if you don't want to use me because agent X is over here telling you that they're going to discount the commission, and that's the only value they bring to the table is a
Giving away
discounted
money?
commission, you should work with them. But I just gave you in my listing presentation or my buyer's presentation, I just gave you all the reasons why you should work a professional like me.
That's right.
And 9 times out of 10, no. 9.99 times out of 10, they're going to sign with you on the dotted line.
Yep.
That money motivates some people, but not everybody.
That's right.
So.
And if they're discounting, and this is just another objection handler, if they're discounting and that's one of their first pitches, if you will, if they're giving away their money so easily, what makes you think that they're going to protect yours?
Right. That's one of the best things right there. I've used that probably, I don't know, 100 times.
Right.
And it gets the point over every single time.
Absolutely.
If they're so fast to give up your money, their own money, what are they going to do with yours?
Yep.
And
Because the whole commissions, they want a lower commission, but it's going to be a poorly negotiated contract where
Right.
you get someone highly skilled that wants more money. You pay them more money, they're a better negotiator. You bring in more money, so then the commission is kind of a moot point.
Yep.
And an
the
agent
only way
that's
it
not going to discount. I'm sorry, James.
Okay.
Real quick, while I got the thought on my head, is like an agent that is not going to discount or really refuses to might not be the best person.
Yeah.
You know, there's got to be some give, and so if
Every
you're
situation
providing
is
enough
different.
value,
Yeah.
you don't even have to go there.
Right.
And so if you are just a great agent and you're really just always coming from that space of contribution, and this is what I bring to the table,
Yep.
they might not even ask.
That's right.
You know, I'm finding it more and more when I go on presentations now, and from the conversations leading up to our listing appointment, where I finally get to sit down with them and meet their hands and look them in the eye and say, hey, look, I've got you. I'm here to help you. I can do these things for you. This is what I do and what I bring to the table. We're going to be right here by your side the whole time and walk you through the whole process. And for that, it comes for the measly fee of 3%.
Yeah.
You know, and people are like, where do I sign? Where
Yep.
do I sign? Where do I sign?
Yep.
You know, it's very rare that I walk into one and leave. And usually I think these days I've convinced myself that if I don't win a listing appointment, that I didn't want it.
Yeah,
Does that make
there
sense?
you go. Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
So I didn't put my best foot forward. I just gave them my presentation, and some of them I don't want, and they're kind of like, "We're going to go with you," and I'm like, "God darn it!" This one's going to be all uphill.
Why am I so great?
Yeah, this one's going to be all uphill. So greatness.
I charge 7%.
Sorry, letting know.
So I'm sorry, James. Go ahead.
No, I was saying
Hopefully that thought's still
the only way that those can work is at scale. So the only
Discount,
reason,
right.
Yeah, the only way it can. So you have to give up something, and normally it's the time.
Right.
Well, discount brokers are typically the first people out of the business. So we get into these where
They come in waves, right?
Yeah, we've seen Austin, Texas. We've seen the market go up and down here. You know, it's really been cooking since '83 around here. I mean, I was just a kid, but that's what I hear.
I wasn't born
right?
yet.
So you weren't.
No, I was born in 85.
I was born in
So,
'83.
83 was really moving here. And so the market's always been good here, but it does have its fall off times. And so you see it going up and down. Well, I remember growing up, I mean, I've owned some homes here in Austin, Texas before I was a realtor, and I would always see people on TV. There was this guy with really wicked eyebrows, right? And so he just had these big bushy eyebrows, but he would sit there like he had plastic surgery, but he's gone. But he was the biggest discount broker there was out there. He was running a commercial every few minutes.
Wow.
And I'd see him, I worked at like a lake restaurant back then at Carlson Charlie's on Lake Travis, and I would see him out there, you know, and he's driving a really nice car, and he's got a really nice boat, and he's got like a lot of young women all over him, you know, and he's just
Living the dream.
off discount commissions.
Right.
And he just looks like he's just pissing it all away. And that's what he ended up doing, because as soon as the market went bad, we never saw this guy again. I've even researched him to see if he came back around, and no. But there's 20 have spawned in his place. Right. And so that's a model these days. People are going towards that. You know, that's interesting to some. That doesn't have to be everybody's game plan.
Right. And like you said, there's plenty of business out there. And if they want that, I'm curious to know how many expireds are we'll say regular agents or brokers, and then discount. You know,
Regular,
because
like they have like
yeah,
digestion problems.
hilarious. What is the? I don't even know the term right now. It's escaping me because now
we'll go
I'm
regular
only thinking
realtors.
I'm just thinking about
I'm
poop
working
now.
and compiling a little bit of something, so maybe by next time I'll have a little more information for you on that.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
He's doing a video.
I am compiling some information on exactly what you just said, so maybe by the next time we have a podcast.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you go through with what you got
All
right
this
now?
information.
You've been
Yeah.
kind of silent this whole time.
Yeah.
You got this little
Welcome to the
snarky
show,
attitude
Marshall.
over there.
Hey, welcome.
Well, just talking about discount brokers and such, so I pulled one up, and I just wanted to see exactly what they're charging our clients. So when we go into that listing presentation and we're talking with them, we know a little bit more about
Their name rhymes with pissing shark.
But I mean, really, I'm just kind of at the preliminary part of it. You know, just seeing what they charge. You know, it's $7 a day for some core benefits that they give you, and then they start, you know, racking up the prices, like $800 for contract to close, $225 for photo rights. I mean, and they just start adding it all in. So I'm just looking at the average days on the market to see what this would actually cost a homeowner.
Yeah, for
Which
sure.
And what they're
we've-
getting value-wise.
We've kind of dug on it before, and we realized it was they're always going to really convince. We always see the discount brokers paying 3%. 5%. So they're taking the discount of their end.
Right.
Some of them are paying 2.5%, which really bugs the shit out of me.
Yeah.
However, most of these guys, we did the math. They're earning, even at their $7 a day with all their little fees, negotiation fees, and when it doesn't sell, the people try to panic. Then they have another menu they slide in front of you to step up showings or whatever else. We'll do this. Well, that's more money, and so by the time the end of it, there's a good chance you could be over 6%. However, it's usually around 2.5% on that sell side that we're seeing. They're right there. So what are they really saving at the end of the day?
Service.
Yep.
And I've gone against this guy. My parents were interested in a house like this, and at first I kind of blew it off, and I was like, you know what? I know this guy, and I know what he's about, and I know that he's not attached to anything. He has no. That's one thing that agents do all the time is they get emotionally attached to properties.
Right.
I know that he sells so many properties he's not attached. So I threw him a BS offer, an offer that would have prompted someone like me to go like, "Bro, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like really?
Yeah.
Come on, man, don't waste our time. Come at me with something we can negotiate and start a negotiation with." I threw it at him. He did. He wrote back and he said, "Hey, this is way too low. Whatever else." And who knows if it was him because it's not signed by anybody. But I would anticipate he's the broker of this organization. It was him. We know each other. We knew each other from high school. And so he sees me and I'm like, look, man, I was like, we're in November. You've been on the market for 85 days. You've gone pending twice and dropped out. So someone tells me people like the house and there's something wrong with it. They keep finding out. Here's our offer. That's it. We're sticking to it. And he wrote back, okay, let's move forward. I was like, wow. Yeah, I was like, wow. It's like, let's
I wonder
do
how
it.
much representation they have there, too, or if it's the homeowner getting the message and they're like, okay.
Well, it was the homeowner that ended up, because there's no representation from an agent. So every time we were at the house, the homeowner would be there, and he worked for one of the local fire departments and cool guy.
Yeah.
He bought the house for an investment and it just wasn't for him. Like, I guess his partnership was dissolving through a couple of friends that were going to buy these homes and do certain things. My parents didn't care. Half-acre lot, 4 oak trees on it that look like, just $1 million oak trees. Beautiful property.
Nice.
Right? And we got it for a steal. And that guy just wanted out. And we had found out that they paid right about what he was going to break even. But he was cool with that. And so it just, there wasn't much there. But if I was his agent, it would have ended a little bit differently.
Yeah.
I would have gone back to the agent without him like, okay, I really appreciate the offer, but I would start thinking of a counter offer real quick. I'm going to present this real quick. And as soon as my client asked me, what do you think? I would have said, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You've already been on the market. I would have reversed it.
Yeah.
You've already been on the market for 88 days. We've had to go under contract twice. So we know people like it. Let's just hold out until a month or two more and not leave all this money because you said right now the mortgage is costing you this. That doesn't outweigh the loss you're about to take.
Right.
He didn't get that from this guy.
No, definitely not.
This guy was a functionary.
Right.
He was just a guy that listed his property and threw it in MLS, didn't care.
Yep.
And so.
And that's another approach you can take too when you are asked for the discount. It's not necessarily quote unquote dogging the discount broker, but you need to see, okay, what value do I bring that they can't bring?
Right.
Well, we have different service levels, don't we?
Open houses.
6%, 5%.
So open houses is one. Are they doing open houses? Probably not.
No, I think you can order one. I think you can pay
Like
for an
six-
agent.
Okay,
to be
so
like
that's an
600
additional
or
cost for you? Okay.
Yeah, it's like, I think it's $200 or something like that.
I thought it was more than that. I thought it was like $400.
For the open houses? They get an open house package with open house
they get a
signs.
package, but you don't get an agent. You don't get an agent until you pay for one.
Oh, yeah, you got to work your own open house. That's right.
Right.
They send you the
What?
signs. They send you all the stuff to do it, flyers, everything else. And then, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No,
that's
they can
insane.
send in the professional for
At
like
scale,
$800.
that's a great business plan.
Well, yeah, but
As realtors, we hate on that all day long.
For
However,
real.
at scale, that's
Yes.
a great plan because he's not jacking with much. He's got a central office and he's just going out and delivering. He's got a delivery driver. Now he's just employed like an Uber driver to go over here, throw crap in your backyard. And when I text you, drive it to this thing, put the sign on the ground, leave this on the thing, and get out of there.
It was $100 for
$100 for an open house package
an agent.
for an agent.
Yeah, the package is separate.
Huh.
wow.
That's crazy. We can shop it down the hall and you have like 20 agents.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Trying to tackle you, form tackle
Yeah.
you to get you.
Well, that's one thing
to
when we
get
talk
open
to for
house.
sale by owners in the first place is we offer, to try to show some value right off the bat, to build some rapport. It was like, hey, let me do an open house over this weekend. Here's the deal I'll make with you. Let me keep all the leads and anybody that's interested in the house, blah, 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 they're yours. You know, I can certainly get the 3%, but maybe instead of 3%, I'll make it 2% because they came to the open house, they want to buy the house. I'll run the whole transaction for 2%, and like you were saying, it could be something else.
Yeah, right.
You know, I'll buy their home warranty, I'll do this other stuff. You still pay me the 3% commission, and all the leads that I get that aren't interested in your house, I get to keep. Does that sound like a plan? Cool. See you at 1 to 4 on Saturday. You know, can I hang out here? No, you can't. You know,
See ya.
Yeah, bye.
Get the home
leave
ready.
the house. Give the people free range to talk about your house. So.
For sure.
Well, okay. What else are we seeing in the space right now? I know there's a lot of guys out of that I'm paying attention to all over the country that I would consider big teams or kind of cutting edge stuff. But I know they're all developing some sort of discount model that at the end of the day they don't lose any money.
Yeah.
And it's not scale. It's just services, you know, and it's what they're doing is they're developing this model. And so basically they're saying for, 5%, you get this, this, and this. For 6%, you get this, and now they're even going up one. For 7%, this is where the true value is. Everybody picks this package, and so when they don't want the 7, they get the 6.
Right. I was going to say 9 times out of 10, they're going to pick the middle because that's
That's exactly what why they're doing it.
Right.
And it's genius. And so
you can even do 6, 7, 8. So that
that was always the joke too. Is like, hey, is there any room to negotiate the commission?
No.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
Go up.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you prefer 7 or 8%?
Yeah.
And it's always the
Exactly.
laugh, and so that uncomfortability's gone because I got the laugh out
Right.
of them, and then just like boom. So,
6%
Which
all we
sounds
need is
better
right
than
here.
8.
But that could also force a question of like, wait, I got to pay this much for this. What is 7%? What is 8%?
Yeah.
And
Like,
so
what else
like
could I get?
Yeah, like
Yep.
how is that different?
Well,
Because then
it's the
it
same thing
changes
too.
the mind frame from down to up.
There's plenty of different models out there,
Or
right?
value.
So there's a particular broker in town that catches a very hard time from people because he buys houses if he can't sell them.
Yes.
Right? And so he's got this guarantee. Everybody likes a guarantee. Subconsciously, like everybody loves the guarantee, and the guarantee makes people feel warm and fuzzy. And okay, I have a backup plan now. My home's not going to sell, and now I can't move on with my plans to move to California, become an actress, whatever anybody's goals are, right? And so this particular broker has come up with a way where he goes in there and he's not going to take the listing for $20,000 over like most agents in this town will.
Yeah.
And I know that pisses a lot of agents off. And like, I don't do that. Well, trust me, it happens, and it happens.
For sure.
That folks in this town don't really, or there's a lot of times where the properties aren't priced properly.
Yes.
And so this guy's come up with a way, and he's not the only one. There's a few different ones. He's just the one that stands out, that's very omnipresent in the market, because everywhere you look, he's got a billboard that says, I'll buy your home. I'll sell your home within 90 days, or I'll buy it, right? And he has a predetermined price picked. So he's got pretty much a provision to the contract or an amendment that states, if I can't sell your home in 90 days, I will buy it for this predetermined amount, which is going to be somewhere probably between, anywhere from 7 to 14% under the value of the house. So do you think that broker is going to take that risk to buy a house at the value that it's not selling at right now?
Nope.
Absolutely not. However, he's providing so much value, getting them to price it right so they don't get stuck there. And this is not the predetermined price. This is just straight offline. He prices homes well. His organization does. And they move. And that's why he can offer that 90. You know how many homes he's bought in the past 5 years? None. None. So all his homes sell in 90 days. Maybe, maybe not.
No.
However, he's got it in there to where they want to keep trying because they don't want to give up that predetermined price.
Yeah.
Now that we've thought about this, we can't afford, $300,000, 10%, that's $30,000. That's $30,000 haircut right off the top. And if your home's worth $325, but you listed, or I wrote $325, and you listed in November, December, January, where there's not a lot of activity, and your mortgage is $6,000 you gave up, you're leaving $24,000 on the table. Why not take it one more month into where people start buying homes again towards the end of January, early February, coming into March? Keep it there and keep your house at $325, or maybe a little slight price adjustment down to $320 to get things moving again, right? And so he's got it. He understands. He's come up with a great system.
Sure.
And so that's one thing that we're trying to develop right now is not trying. We're developing, and we're trying to work at a high level. And so when we take these things, we have some sort of guarantee.
I was going to ask, for those who can't offer up purchasing the home, what is a good guarantee for a listing agent?
You know what mine's going to be is I can't necessarily necessarily take down a bunch of homes right now that I can't sell in 90 days. Especially with the system that I'm unclear how it all works, is I'm going to go after, really, I can't sell your home in 90 days, I'll sell it for free. But I have a predetermined, you basically pay $400 up front. I don't have a ton of skin in the game if I can't sell it. Right. And so a $400, a $600 listing package, it comes with the best professional photos, great copy, Facebook ads. It goes with all the same stuff that we do now to be very present in our market that we're in now. I mean, we're known as one of the better marketing teams in the area. I would like to think, or at least I tell myself every morning I wake up, is that you get our package for essentially $400 to $600, and we'll give it everything we have for 90 days. And if not, at the end, we'll keep it on the market and keep going, and you get to keep that commission right back in your pocket.
Nice.
And that's my guarantee to you. And so far, so good, right? I haven't done it, but I've run it past people. What do you think?
Yeah.
Would you do that? Just like, I'd sign on the dotted line for sure.
I would say on day 91, maybe take off 1% and do it that way instead of getting ready.
Walk it down?
Yeah, that's what I would recommend.
Right. Which I actually recently did that with somebody. It was a for sale by owner, and she was very obstinate about anything. I was like, I'll tell you what, if I can't get this price, for every X you have to come down, I will come down 0.5%.
There you go.
Right? And so I'll meet you here. So we were ticking down, and so right now I'm down 1% on it, and so now the price reduction talk is there again, and so we have to do it again. Like, this one didn't go according to plan, However, I'm more worried about her being happy and her getting her way, and really kind of doing the customer service side of this thing and making sure that it all takes place for her and she gets the home sold. There's a lot of pain and pleasure there. It's like the pain is her not being able to take the money and invest in other things, which is her pleasure, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I really need to help her fulfill this right here, and it really comes at all costs because she's going to buy more real estate down the road.
Right.
So I don't want to lose that opportunity there that I have to sell her more stuff on the buyer side where she doesn't go for that commission reach.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So, what you got, James?
Nothing. The FSBOs. I got something. No, the FSBOs are definitely trying to leverage and get them in, because obviously everybody wants to pay little to nothing if possible. One guy said nothing buy or sale side. I was like, at all? Nothing? You sure?
Well, see you later.
Yeah.
So I just kept
Red
going,
flag,
like,
bye.
finding a buyer. Well, that was the one I was saying earlier. He kept trying to hang up on me, and I just kept asking some more questions, trying to get a better understanding. And then finally, stuck on it and definitely didn't want to be on the phone. So I was like, all right, have a great day. I'll talk to you later. He's like, all right, bye, click. I'll just call him next week, see how things are going, see if he sold it yet. But I doubt it if he's not trying to pay for anything anywhere.
We'll
having the two people are too nice to hang up on
dive
each
deep
other.
on that one, like the for sale by owner stuff. I think we've talked about in the past. I think we talked about everything in the past.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
So
they are wanting to discount and wanting it cheaper on their end, and so it's really just finding out why. Because some people, they really need it, and some people are just don't want to pay anything. They think that they can do it all themselves because it's been a great market, and so it's like, well, I can do it for free. I've done it before. Like, I've told you a couple people today. I had a guy earlier. He's like, I sold 4 before. I can do it myself.
Okay, that's great. I'm pretty sure that you can sell your house. That's not where my concern is. My concern is that you're getting the most money for your house.
Yeah.
They don't have the information.
Nope.
They don't have the data.
Nope.
So they think they're getting the best deal. They're not.
Yeah.
You got to show them that you can get them more to cover your commission.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's where my angle is going in for a builder I would talk to. He's got 2 homes that he's building, and a lady who wants to have carpet in the bathroom.
Oh, geez.
So yeah, I was like, hey, is there any space? Can I come in here? Maybe I can find you a buyer to sell it out from under her since she wants a smaller place. He's like, oh yeah, definitely. He's like, I'm definitely open for that. Maybe we can find something earlier so I don't have to put all this stuff in, paint it the ugly color, do all these extra finishes. It'll save me a ton of time and work and resale value.
Yeah, he's a goofy builder if he didn't get some money up front.
I think he's got
all those customs.
Yeah, I think he's got enough built. You would think that, I should rephrase that. You would think that he's smart enough to have a bunch of the stuff built in, so he's just paying for it, or she's paying for the whole thing. So, but if we can slide in and help out both people, then it's a win-win.
Absolutely.
So that's my goal for my Thursday appointment.
I love new builds.
Boop, boop.
Cool. Let's go ahead and wrap this one up. We appreciate everybody. Don't forget our sponsor out there is Mike Harrell with Guild Mortgage. You can find out more information on him at info@realestateontherocks.com. What is that tinny sound?
The what?
There's some sound that's popping over here.
It's in your head, man.
Is it going crazy? Anyway, we appreciate you listening to Real Estate on the Rocks. If there's anything we can ever do for you, please send us an email over at info@realestateontherocks.com or join our Facebook page that is under, what's it called? Top Shelf Agents.
Top Shelf.
I always want to say .com, but it's not a .com. Top Shelf Agents on Facebook. You can also follow us on Instagram. Thank you, and we'll hear you on the next one.
I'm out.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.